kept you from ending your own life?
When my child didn't draw breath, that's when my life truly began. The genophage forces us to live on hope alone. There is nothing else. There is no reason to exist other than the hope that the next day will bring change. And if it doesn't, there is always the next.
How do you think things will change after the genophage is cured?
Our species will find its balance again. Females will help shape the future, like in the ancient days, before we were just pawns of power-hungry males.
Most seem hell-bent on shooting anything that looks at them wrong.
What else is there for them to do? Because of the genophage, they become wandering killers, seeking targets to justify their existence, excuses to earn them honor.
You know, this game never discusses birth control. And I know it's made in the United States, and parts of the game seem strangely conservative, given that other parts seem so progressive, like on, gay rights and things like that. But they never discuss birth control. But they will have, they should have to, because the Krogan, if you remove the genophage, they do have to have some way to reduce them, or to kind of, keep their numbers at a stable level rather than just explode like they would if all their children survive, because their birth rate is so high. They do need some form of birth control, but this game never discusses it, which is really weird. I mean, you would think Eve at this point, when you ask her, what do you think will happen after the genophage is cured, you think she'd be wise enough to understand that. But the game just avoids the topic completely. It's like, in some ways the Mass Effect series is really progressive, but in other ways it's just kind of dumb in the way that it addresses some things, especially the ending of the third game. But we'll get to that when we do. Actually, maybe it's just the biology parts. Like, the parts about evolution is completely wrong. The birth control here they don't talk about. Yeah. Alright, let's keep talking to Eve.
How'd you get involved in Malin's experiments?
The other females and I volunteered. We heard Malin was trying to cure the genophage for Clan Weirlock.
Aren't they a rival clan?
Rivalries are the invention of the males. Under their rule, Tuchanka has laid in ruins for over 1,000 years. It's time females took back our place in society and resurrected our future. Malin was our best hope.
Like, in some senses it's quite progressive. Like, it's times females took back our place in society and resurrected our future. I mean, she's saying, okay, it's important for the woman to become leaders, to make sure the men don't lead us back in the war. So in that sense, it's quite progressive. But then they just completely avoid birth control when you think that would be one of the major themes for the Krogan after the genophage. Like, how do you maintain your population? I mean, it doesn't have to be condoms or anything like that. It could be, some sort of... I mean, it sounds kind of brutal, but, back before they had technology, most of the children would die because, Tuchanka was such a brutal place. You had animals eating you, basically. And, the numbers were kept low because a lot of the children died from, natural reasons. I mean, that could be an option if they had some sort of contest. I mean, they still do, because remember back in Mass Effect 2, the Grunt had the right, what did they call it? I forgot what they called it. The rite of passage or something. Like, Grunt had to survive an attack by a Thresher Maw for 5 minutes in order to become, a full clan member. And if they just kind of had that, except more brutal, so then only the strongest Krogan could survive. And maybe they can tweak that to adjust, how many people survive. Then they can control their numbers. But, somehow they need population control. And the game just kind of completely avoids the topic. So, you see what I mean? Like, in some sense, they are kind of really progressive. And then in another sense, they're just kind of avoiding these things, or just seem completely stupid about some things. Like evolution, which they just get completely wrong the whole time.
Would you go to Malin again?
Absolutely. It only takes one candle to light a fire. and then the darkness is no more.
I'm sorry none of the other females survived.
I know. The youngest one, Kern, was the last to go. But she knew she would enter the void free of this curse, and then smile when she looked down upon the children of Tuchanka. Her spirit will be the midwife to my firstborn.
I found Malon's lab. It looked like a dungeon. His experiments were brutal.
We learned that too late. He meant well, but his methods grew more barbaric as he went. We finally escaped into the rubble. Eventually, a Solarian team found us. They saved our lives. We were so sick.
How's Morden been treating you?
Better than Krogan males do. He's not like a typical Solarian.
No. Organ redundancy results in new period before metaphase. Can't alter that. Damage to telomeres, premature aging.
He does that.
But I sense pain in him too. He told me about his work on the genophage. I should consider him an enemy. Yet I think seeing my sisters and I changed something in him.
Sorry, Borgia, offspring have an allergy to dairy and...
Well, it wasn't his ear. Thanks for talking to me.
It's my pleasure, Commander. I'm glad to see humans treat their women with respect. Your people have placed a lot of responsibility on you.
No more than your people have put on you.
Then maybe we can show the men how it's done.
Deal.
Alright, so that's pretty cool. Slight difference in dialogue than the manship. And it's not just, it's slight, but it's significant too. Like most of the other things, it's pretty much exactly the same. But I don't think she makes any comment about gender if you play the manship. In some ways kind of progressive, in other ways just ignoring important things. Let's talk to Morden as well.
Shepard, blood work complete. Indicates significant stress on Eve's system. Malin's data thorough. Fortunately detailed as well. Have used notes to improve her condition.
Have you determined why she's immune?
Genophage targeted hormone production during pregnancy. Modification project used same modality. Her immunity totally different. Targeted glands now obsolete, like human appendix. Other glands mutated to produce proper hormones, enable viable birth. Also explains her weakness. Gland substitution imperfect. Health trouble.
You think you can make this work for all Krogan?
Yes. We'll use Eve's tissue to produce mutagen, alter gland function across entire species. Must improve mutagen as well, tune hormone production. Long-term illness for all Krogan otherwise.
So the genophage altered hormone production to make them sterile. Well, almost sterile. But now, instead of just stopping the genophage, you're going to mutate them even further and have other glands produce the correct hormones that they need. Seems a bit strange.
So we did the right thing by saving the data?
Indeed. Would be much harder to treat Eve without it. Maybe impossible.
And all those experiments we saw back on Tuchanka?
Monstrous, repulsive, but now with purpose. Victims didn't die for nothing.
So the end justifies the means.
Not my means.
But you're using the data, encouraging more experiments like Malin's.
Encouragement irrelevant. Will always be scientists willing to perform unethical tests. Can't change that. But can help Eve. Can cure genophage. Won't ignore data vital to her survival because of unethical origins.
Any word on Malin himself?
No. Ordered teams to search for him when trying to help Eve. Nothing so far. Large galaxy. Lots of places to hide. Could already be dead for all we know. Would kill him now if possible. Unless he could help.
How's she doing?
No fever currently. Heart rate elevated. Likely stress. Eating appropriately. Could use another blanket. Something soft. Prefer to let her recover fully before synthesizing cure. My medical recommendation.
My people don't have time for that.
Her opinion, somewhat different.
Yes.
You care about her.
My patient. My responsibility. Found her at STG base. 3 doctors injured trying to restrain her. Undid arm restraints. Didn't resist when she grabbed me. Promised to help her. She said, please.
You always defended your genophage work. What changed your mind?
Never change mind. Genophage proper decision at time. New circumstances necessitate course correction.
Those circumstances being...
Reapers.
Reaper invasion. Turians doomed without Krogan support. Krogan need unified threat, outlet for aggression, cooperative symbiosis.
Nothing else. No personal stake here.
Getting old, Shepard. Not many years left, but still best candidate for project. Few Solarian scientists interested in genophage. None with my expertise. Had to be me.
Someone else might have gotten it wrong.
Possibly. Stakes too high for inexperience. But not about them. My work. My job to put it right. To prove I can.
Okay, so he's got something to prove.
Nice talking with you, Morden.
Thank you, Shepard. Glad to be back.
You planning to stick around when this is over?
Until Reaper's dealt with, at least. Then, not sure. Have made impact on Galaxy. Genophage modification, genophage cure, work against collectors, decisions, mistakes. Might go somewhere sunny. Sit on beach, look at ocean, collect seashells.
You go crazy inside an hour.
Might run tests on the seashells.
Yeah, so Morden's getting pretty old for a Solarian. Alright, we're done here. Yeah, he has something to prove. Wants to cure the genophage. And it's a good time to do so, given that, you know, Reapers. Alright, what does Garrus have to say?
Shepard, they say female Krogan have a thing for guys with scars.
So I've heard.
I've got a few, myself. Here's hoping nobody's planning an arranged marriage to cement this deal. Though I have to say, I admire Eve. The things she must have endured living with the genophage. And now, to top it all off, she's her people's last hope. Imagine the pressure. Takes real courage to face that. I hope we can measure up.
Yes, yes, I hope so too. Alright, let's go talk to more people. So there's a lot of story here, like we're talking to people and it's all very interesting.
Still relying on the Protheans for all the answers?
It will work, Rex. We just need to finish building the Crucible. Although I'd be interested to learn how you found out about it.
Wasn't that hard. Lucky you keep its location more secret than the fact it exists.
And I'm sure you'll do a good job of both, being so famous for your discretion.
My lips are sealed.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, the story's really interesting too, like it's good stuff. They're not, no, there's no upgrades. They're not just repeating things for the sake of repeating things like they did in the first game a little bit. Email from Professor Tikasha to Dr. O'Doul. I was trawling every supply depot station around the Crucible to find pure platinum. And then, okay, 16th of the Shadow Broker. Yeah, so the Shadow Broker is helping
Feel free to look around.
with building the Crucible. Of course, the Shadow Broker is Liara, and she's right here.
Please, enjoy your day.
Alright, there's no one... Okay, there's no one there. Okay, there's no one back there. Alright, that's right, there's nobody here, is there? Oh, someone's...
I can't imagine anything so traumatic. You sure you're okay, Karen?
I wouldn't wish a collector abduction on my worst enemy. But it's behind me now. I'm fine. But it makes me think of Earth and all the other Reaper-occupied worlds. What are the Reapers doing to the people who live on all those worlds? As we sit here, enjoying our coffee. How many souls are in agony this very moment? Millions? Billions? Oh, Greg. I lied. I'm not fine.
Oh hey, welcome to Mass Effect 3, guys. Yeah, get depressed.
Hello, Commander.
Everything okay in the medbay?
Yes, Morden would just like some space to work with Eve.
He kicked you out?
Oh no, I just thought I was getting in his way. I'll return when I'm needed.
Alright, so Morden's taking over the medbay. Let's go talk to more people. Engineering? Alright, who's down here? Jarvik is here. Prothy the Prothean. What's up,
Why are
Prophet?
you so interested in my people, Asari?
Protheans are always an enigma, a mystery to solve. I wanted to know what happened to your civilization. Why did such an enlightened race disappear?
Enlightened?
Well, it seemed that way.
And now that I am here,
I wonder what it's like waking up 50,000 years later to a new galaxy.
I believe this cycle cares too much about what other species think. Krogan, Turian, Solarian, all were primitives in my time. What good does their help do now?
We can't win this war on our own.
Then demand their help. Do not indulge their selfish requests. What will saving one Krogan matter?
If only it were that simple.
If they get in your way, destroy them.
Excuse me?
I apologize. The previous occupant of this room left traces of himself. I have absorbed some of them.
Yes, Grunt. He was a strong one. Maybe it's best if I let you recover.
That would be best.
Javik, the Protheans lost to the Reapers. The Protheans, like, I understand that you're Prothean, and the Protheans do things the Prothean way, but you guys lost the war. So don't give us advice about what to do with our war.
Did I mention Solarians used to lick their eyes? How far they have come. The Mordin Solarian asked if he could dissect me. I approved, but only if he could defeat me in combat first. His reply was problematic. Then he left. I do not understand that one.
What he means is he's gonna figure out how to defeat you in combat and then come back. So you better be ready, bro.
This Cerberus, I do not understand why your own kind would oppose you. They will bleed the same as everyone if the Reapers are not stopped.
Because maybe they're indoctrinated? Because they're all half-husks already?
The Rex Krogan offered me a job.
Huh.
He said whenever I tired of the easy life of luxury on the Normandy, he would give me something real to shoot at. Yes?
Alright, so he's pretty entertaining. Nothing important though.